Good Wednesday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Off to the races we go. We're starting out this morning at 76 now. We had a high at, 4 a.m., 3:45. It was somewhere around 78 earlier this morning. We've dropped a couple degrees. We're waiting for a high, and grab something, 103 today. Heat index to be 112. It's going to be a scorcher. We've got that in store for us. We've got a lot of folks coming in during the 7 o'clock show. J.J. Anders will be here. He's also running for Supervisor District 1. He'll give his side of the story, why you should vote for him. And Stella McMahon joins us. She's running for coroner of Lauderdale County. We're down to the final two on these as we have a runoff next Tuesday, the 29th. So we hope today that you'll learn something, help you make your decision. That all comes up this week. Tomorrow, we got a big day as we'll have in Roadside Rescue. You can help pups. Organization that really goes above and beyond. They'll be here to tell us more about that. Also, Friday, we'll have the superintendent of Lauderdale County to talk about this bond issue that's coming up. Millions of dollars wanted. Raises taxes. How do you feel about it? We'll talk to him on Friday morning. Next week, we're going to have the governor of the great state of Mississippi. Governor Tate Reeves will be in studio with us next week to talk what's going on in the state of Mississippi as he runs for re-election. So we look forward to having the governor with us. A lot of candidates dropping through, coming by the Scotty Ray Report. Always welcomed. We learn a few things each and every time. It's been a big political year. It has indeed. All right, let's get this day started with a good word. And if I don't have this correct, we'll fix it, put the right one, but I think we do. As we head out to the church, let's go to Collinsville First Baptist.
What if I told you that you are in the middle of a war and that you have a relentless enemy striving to kill you, and that enemy is not interested in the least in a peace treaty or a compromise? They'll stop at nothing until you're dead. You have only two options: kill or be killed. Well, those are some pretty high stakes, right? But that's exactly how the Holy Spirit, through Apostle Paul, describes our situation in Romans 8 in this spiritual battle you and I are in. It's kill or be killed. Listen to what he wrote. So then, brothers, we are debtors not to the flesh to live according to the flesh. For if you live according to the flesh, you'll die. But if by the Spirit you put to death the deeds of the body, you will live. So, sorry, sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desires, covetousness, you can no longer live in me. I got to put you to death. Sorry, unrighteous anger, wrath, malice, slander, filthy talk. You can no longer live in me. I've got to put you to death. Sorry, idolatry, adultery, transsexuality, homosexuality, thievery, drunkenness, slandering, swindling. You can no longer live in me. I must put you to death. Beloved, you're in a battle for your life. If the enemy of cancer invaded your body, wouldn't you try to kill it before it killed you? We're in the same way. Kill sin before it kills you. May the victory be yours by the power of the Holy Spirit. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Odie's in the studio with us this morning. Let's just take a quick look at Odie over there. There's Odie waving at everybody. He's ready for today. Yes, we are. Going to be a lot of things happen today, and we are looking forward to our special guest, as we said, here in just a little bit. Joe Skipper, how in the world are you today? Donna is with us. Dorothy Ford. Let's see here. Barbara Gowdy. So good to see you there. Denny Bryan. A lot of folks. Lamar, good to see Kemper County being represented. As we look across a few of the headlines that are happening this morning, we first go to, this is just one of those breaks your heart stories. Nebraska. Now, I want to say, and Odie, I don't know if you know, the last figure I heard was somewhere around 18 people in the United States this summer of children being left in cars. 16, 18? Yeah. We had a 1-year-old yesterday. The daycare did it. How that happened, I'll never know, but left a 1-year-old child in a van, perish because of the heat. They just can't handle it. We pass along condolences to family members on that. As we go to New York City, a 7-year-old attacked by a bear outside, playing in his backyard, a bear attacked. He's going to be okay. It's non-life-threatening injuries. They took the bear out, though. There wasn't any bleeding hearts on that one. They took care of the problem before it happened again. And as you look at this, do y'all remember the story? And I know you do. When we have problems like that, fix it. You remember the gator is what I'm going to refer to it. It could have been a crocodile, gator. I'm not sure which one, how you classify them, of where it lurched, that is the word, out at a man that was fishing. He got away. The next day it took a elderly 80-something-year-old woman down, killed her walking her dog. When we have problems like that, we shouldn't pause. They should do just like they did in New York and handle it before it becomes another problem for someone else. There are signs. Do we pay attention to them? I think that's important, don't you, Odie?
It very well is.
There's Odie over there. He's backing me there. Work boots and all there.
That's right.
Good view of your boots this morning there. Let's see what else is happening this morning across America as I look at this. This is one of those, as Odie would put it, ruh-roh shaggies, as one of the key people against Trump that said, oh, wait a minute, he had us delete video footage to hide things. Goes, well, maybe I lied about that. Folks,
all comes out.
as you get into this case, and I've said so many times, I've had a lot of people go, oh, Republicans love him. No, Republicans don't. There are a lot of bad people on both sides that are in Washington, D.C., and what party they're associated with does not matter. They're concerned about one thing, me. Y'all know that type person? That's what we've got, elected officials that may start out good that go up there, somewhere along the way get swayed by that dirty little thing called money, and they will do anything to get more of it. It reminds me of the Lord of the Rings. Did anybody watch that? Once you put that on your finger, you turn bad, and it controls you. And there are so many people in Washington like that. That's why they dislike this man. Now, let me back up and say this. Has everything he's done right in life or correct? No, by no means am I saying that. I think the man had a good heart and was trying to do the right thing for America, and there's a lot of people that don't like that. Why? It interrupts me. It cuts back on their profit when somebody steps up and goes, no, you're not going to do it this way. We'll watch what happens with this, but the very first person admitting to, well, I might have lied. It's going to be a lot of that. Let's hope the truth comes to the top. We'll watch it and see. What else is happening this morning? This is horrible. You never know, especially in these larger cities, what's lying next door. How many times have you seen a story where they go, well, he was a nice person. I didn't see it coming. Police responded to a home. This was in Kentucky. I'll have to dig in right outside of Louisville. A woman was being held captive. She was chained to the floor. Now, y'all can only imagine what's happened to her. You see something weird going on? Talk to a police officer. Talk to somebody that could help someone. You hear a scream, a holler. There may be more to it than meets the surface, so to speak. She's been saved, but mentally, will she be okay? Probably not. That would, and I've seen pictures. I'm not going to show them. Awful as police go in, and she literally was chained from the neck or arms to a floor. It isn't God, and I think of, it wasn't God who made honky-tonk angels, and it wasn't God who made evil people, but they do exist. Never forget that. There's good and evil in this world, and there's a lot of evil out there who want to harm the good people. It breaks my heart to even have to tell you these type things, but it does happen in America, and there is probably more of it going on, probably within 3-4 miles of wherever you're watching me this morning, something going on. A wife being abused, a child being abused. It breaks my heart, a puppy dog being abused. And we'll have some folks in to talk about that tomorrow morning. Things that get me stirred up early in the morning. Those things do. They will keep you up at night if you think about it. Good morning, Chet Parker. How are you doing? He's getting ready to go fishing somewhere this morning.
You know he is.
Oh, yeah. We'll be right back as we get this day started, and we're going to tell you all about your forecast. That's next. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in. are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Oh, welcome back. Me and Odie were discussing how to solve the world's problems. One day we're going to come up with a plan. I don't remember what that little comic strip was, the little dude that was always trying to take over the world. We're just trying to fix the world. We don't want to take over it. We don't want to run it. We just want to give a little advice. Terry Ray says a lot of this has to do with our politicians in the world. Good morning from DeKalb. Joyce, how in the world are you doing? All the way from Carthage this morning, James Sullivan. So good to see you there. Chet says, y'all, wait a minute, it's too hot to fish. Too hot for golf, too cold at home. Things like that just pop in my... Boy, was that a country song if I've ever heard one. Hope y'all have heard that before. Let's get into our forecast now and just see what we can do to see how cool you're going to be. I'm lying. I'm joking. There ain't nothing cool about today.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go back down memory lane, we go to 07 when it was 105 on this day. Now, we're expecting 103. Not much difference in between those two, but climate change, well, it's kind of the same, isn't it? 103 today. A few years ago, back in 07, 105. Back in 56, it was 54, the coldest day recorded on this day. As we look at what's forecasted for today, 102 is what the National Weather Service, our system said 103 earlier. All of this can be tweaked as we go west to Vicksburg. Y'all look out. Jackson, Vicksburg, 104. And it'll follow that riverbed all the way down to Natchez, Brookhaven, still at 104 degrees. Whew. As we glance across to Alabama, Demopolis, Alabama, there at the river, 103 today. 102 in Tuscaloosa. Birmingham could see 99, maybe. Over in Troy, as you get near Dothan, we'll see 101. As we move forward to take a look at this is the wildfire condition, the meridian moving into the elevated threat. That's East Mississippi. And when I say the meridian area, I mean Philadelphia, Kemper County, Newton, Scott, Clark, all of these areas there is an elevated threat. Now, significant is a little bit south of us as you get into Brookhaven, Natchez, Hattiesburg, all along there from Laurel due south to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. All of this should not be burned anywhere in our area, even north of Kemper County when you get into Noxubee. Don't burn. It's too dry. We hadn't had any rain in forever. We'll have firemen running around. The heat wave continues. Look at meridian, significant risk. We're already way past this. They said this earlier this morning. I expect this to be changed. They're saying 105. We've already got it in the forecast, forecasted to be 112 today. So just expect this purple to come on over. Yeah, as we look at Alabama, here you go. Under excessive heat today. This goes all over Alabama. It's everywhere. As we glance, there's really not much change. We still have a huge heat wave here. Over the next 6 to 10 days, it'll probably calm down to about 100. A lot to look forward to. Nothing cooler back all north of us as you get up into these north of Tennessee, a little bit cooler up in there. Near Washington, Roanoke, and those areas. As we glance across this, 101, 102, depending upon where you are, could be 103 in certain areas. Tomorrow, forecasted at 102. Now, if you'll remember, originally, all of this was at 106 to begin with. 102, 103, 4. We're not going to argue. It's pretty close. We see a dip in the temperature come next Tuesday, but we were looking on that map to where we could see mid-90s coming from Texas, and we start seeing that on Monday and Tuesday down to 94 and 91. It'll feel like we've got a short sleeve, cool day, won't it? The outlook all the way through the 6th of September, we do see that those mid-90s will hang. Anywhere from 92 to about 96 degrees is what is expected through September the 6th. Labor Day will be here before we know it, won't it? Now, as we glance across what's going on with the National Hurricane Center this morning, we got 2 disturbances coming from Africa, a 40% chance here, and then another 60% chance here. No threat, and most likely Franklin is going to go due north at this point and curve out, is what we're expecting. Franklin is moving along at 52 miles an hour. Harold has entered Texas and still moving along at 29 miles an hour. Bringing a little bit of rain here to portions of this southern Texas into Mexico, these areas here. Nothing to worry about for the rest of the Gulf of Mexico as we glance at this. Now, we'll be watching the National Hurricane Center closely as all of this develops, as they tell us more and more is going to be coming in late August into September. Let's hope all this stays way away from the Gulf. We got our fingers crossed, don't we? As we glance here, that fishing forecast is Chet's already passed his decision. Too hot to fish. The major time today will be this afternoon at 5:30. It'll be hot to 7:30. Now, you can be out fishing right now. We've got about 10 minutes left on this, less than 10 minutes, about 6 minutes left on a good fishing forecast before 7 o'clock. Today's wind's going to be calm, becoming northeast around 5 this morning. So the outlook of the weather forecast of what we have. Already 6:46 if I can see that side of the screen directly. Terry, how are you doing there? 5:20 is back. Donna, good morning there. Might be joining the Naked Man today in the heat. There's a lot of people that feel that way, Donna. Joyce, how in the world are you doing there? So good to see each and every one of y'all. We'll be back here in just a few moments as we've got the headlines of what went on. Did we say somebody got stabbed in Meridian yesterday? I believe we did. We'll give you the details on that and so many stories that went on behind the scenes. There's a lot that's happened in our area. We'll be here to tell you about it. You won't find out about it anywhere else. It's all here at the Scotty Ray Report. We'll be back at 7.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: